You on his live stream?
Cleavage hanging out. Two, you gave old redacted Jeffrey Epstein files to MAGA influencers who were holding them up like prize trophies and took selfies with them, and they weren't actually the Epstein files. They were call logs that were released in 2021, which had your name on it. Three, you brought the Tate brothers, who face human trafficking charges, back to the United States from Romania. Four, you
Look how upset these people are, especially this podcast called the Midas Touch. They have been going after Trump for I don't know how long. This dweeby looking guy always has something to say about Trump, and not just Trump, always has something to say about the interest of America. And it seems like these leftists always constantly want to take us down a road that totally makes no sense and benefit for us as a people. Always for these type of programs that these people are attempting to protest for, like the Midas Touch is attempting to protest for, these type of programs are non-existent when it comes to benefiting the American average citizen. Okay, these programs only benefit the elitist of America, and you have Democrats like this who have been coercing our people down the wrong path for years. And I want to point this out, and I want to show you the difference on fake news and how we can identify it. Let's go.
backtracked on making IVF free. Influencers who were holding them up like prize trophies and took selfies with them, and they weren't actually the Epstein files. They were call logs that were released in 2021, which had your name on it. Three, you brought the Tate brothers, who face human trafficking charges, back to the United States from Romania. Four, you backtracked on making IVF free. Five, you went back to Florida to play more golf after humiliating the United States in the Oval Office by attacking President Zelensky with J.D. Vance by laundering Russian talking points. So I guess those are the 5 things that you did this week, Donald. By the way, even the Wall Street Journal op-ed was calling out Donald Trump over the past 24 hours. This is from the Wall Street Journal opinion side. Putin wins the Trump-Zelensky Oval Office spectacle. Vice President Vance starts a public fight that only helps Russia's dictator. The op-ed goes on to say, why did the vice president try to provoke a public fight? Mr. Vance has been taking to his X.com account in what appears to be an effort to soften up the political ground for a Ukraine surrender, most recently writing off Mr. Putin's brutal invasion as a mere ethnic rivalry. Mr. Vance dressed down Mr. Zelensky as if he were a child late for dinner in the Oval Office. He claimed the Ukrainian hadn't been grateful enough for U.S. aid, though he has thanked America countless
We are now showing you how these people, this guy wants to fight for Ukraine as if he is a Ukrainian general, if it's as if he's a Ukrainian political operative. Okay. Notice how these people are fighting. I'm talking about vigorously to show up a Donald Trump, but they are not actually showing up Donald Trump. They are showing up us. Okay. And you have people like the Midas Touch or podcasts like this, like the Midas Touch, that tends to want to take you off of a cliff, politically take you off of a cliff. Okay. And these are the Democrats that I grew up on watching, our parents watching, our grandparents watching, listening, intaking the information and listening to them because they like to put people, soft looking people, up on these screens, inflate their numbers, soft looking people like this to where they seem to be approachable, they seem to be nice, when that is nowhere near the case. They are extremely vicious, and we are talking about uh, tornadoes and wildebeests in sheep's clothing. Shout out to the Mac Mizzle show. Mac Mizzle, I sent that link. That link is dropped, my dude. Come on up. Let's get it.
Times for its support. This was not the behavior of a statesman, he goes on to say, and that this has made America far less safe, and that Donald Trump and J.D. Vance were only helping Putin out. So now Trump is returning to Mar-a-Lago for golf this weekend as his approval rating is plummeting, as consumer sentiment is collapsing, as the latest Atlanta Federal Reserve report expects a contraction in the economy by negative 1.5%, which would lead the United States into a recession for the first quarter. Donald Trump admits that inflation is increasing despite promising lower prices on day one.
See, that's a lie. And Donald Trump did not promise that. Donald Trump said, and I remember before he even took office, he said that we will go through a period of inflation. He said it's going to start out like that because of the tariffs that he's putting on all of these other countries. Okay? So at first it's going to start like that. We are going to lower costs through energy, according to Donald Trump. That's why we are drilling. We are going to depend on our own self. We're going to depend on our government. Okay? That's what we're doing. That's why Donald Trump said he is telling his people to drill, baby, drill. Okay, let's go.
Donald Trump pushed forward the Trump GOP budget scam, which cuts $880 billion from Medicaid while giving $4.5 trillion in tax handouts to billionaires. It also crushes farmers. It also crushes infrastructure projects. But the oligarchs say thank you, Donald Trump. Donald Trump.
Yeah. Salute, salute.
What's good, Mac? How you, bro?
I'm chilling, man. I'm chilling. I seen that whole. I seen that whole debacle.
Yo,
Trump
bro,
and Zelensky.
that was bro. Can I be on? Can I just be honest, real quick? Just real quick, bro. That, like you said, that spectacle. That was one of the greatest political shows that I have ever seen and witnessed. I didn't get to read about it this time.
It
I
showed strength on Trump's side, you know.
What you said?
I said it showed strength on Trump's side, you know, like
real strength. But the thing is, I'm not just about like pumping just pure power and authority and that type of image. No, it's not that. It's not. We're talking about making sense. We are sending you. We sent you $350 billion. We sent you $350 billion. Not only that, huh?
350 billion. God,
bro, this is what Trump is telling them right there. We sent you 300. First, this is what they're saying. You are not. First of all, did you even say thank you the whole time you've been here? We gave you $350 billion and our U.S. military assets. Okay, so we gave you assets of our military. We're talking about aircraft. We're talking about missiles. You name it, we gave it to them. Okay, and that was under Biden and Kamala. Okay, and for these 3 years or 4 years, for the last 4 years, they have been eating. So now Trump is saying, hold up. First of all, I'm not giving you any more money. First of all, we want to stop this war. I'm not giving you any more money until you tell me where is my 350 billion, and not only where is it, I want it back. So Trump is saying, I want my 350 billion back. Okay, now
back. Oh shit,
we want it back. We want it back, and now and Trump has talked to the Russian president. They have came up with the framework of a ceasefire to begin the ceasefire in its first stage. And Zelensky, who is the president for Ukraine, does not want the ceasefire. He wants to continue on with the war. Why? Because these people are eating, as far as just sucking the blood out of America regarding our funding and assets, using our military equipment, selling. Oh, not only that, they can't even find a lot of the military equipment that we sent, meaning they are saying that they sold our military equipment. And, the level of corruption. The level of corruption. Yep. So my thing is,
he's playing with his own citizens' lives, yo.
This is what Trump is saying. You're playing with millions of citizens' lives.
Yeah.
Not only that, Trump had a deal on the table. Russia agreed to the deal. All they needed was Ukraine to come to the United States and sign the deal. That's what Trump thought that Zelensky was coming for, to come sign the deal. That's not what he thought. That's what he said he was coming to do. Then when Zelensky gets over here into the White House, in front of all of the cameras, he reneges.
He reneges, yeah.
He reneges in front of the cameras.
You see that?
So I mean, obviously Trump is like, and the vice president are like, hold up, that is disrespectful. You're coming over here. You don't even thank us for the money and assets we have given you so far. No, you're coming over here pandering to our media.
Them, you know?
Pandering to our media. We didn't tell you to talk like that to our media. You talking like that, trying to make our media feel bad for you, and you want us to jump on Trump. We're not doing that. We gave you for 4 years, damn nigga. You damn near took over every time you came We gave you the Senate. You came on the Senate floor and you spoke. Yeah, you came on the Senate floor. You spoke on, in the congressional halls or whatever, and you spoke. House of Representatives, you spoke. When Israel came and Bibi Netanyahu came, it's like they take it over. It's like they roll out the whole red carpet. Not for Trump. Not with Trump. Trump ain't doing none of that shit with none. Trump ain't doing none of that with none of these other foreign leaders. You come over here, it's not going to be no red carpet. And we ain't doing all that. And this is what they all upset about.
Right.
So
that's crazy, bro. That shows that they have no respect for Trump, and he's being protected by the ruling elites, because they ain't no way you get 350 billion and you ask them for more money, and you can't even show where the money went,
and can't show where the money went, can't show where the money went, can't show where the military equipment went. Zelensky claims that it's on his website, but that's just not true. He's lying. I'm gonna show you all of that. What he's saying.
Yeah.
Trump fired hundreds of employees at the weather forecasting agency right before significant storm season's about to start. Donald Trump appointed a MAGA podcaster, Dan Bongino, as FBI director, who calls for ignoring checks and balances. Donald Trump got caught lying about Doge's savings and quietly deleting it with Musk. And Donald Trump is planning to cut a huge portion of the staff of the Social Security Administration, which will likely lead to people not getting their Social Security checks on time. I think this AI image right here of Vladimir Putin walking Donald Trump like a dog probably sums it up best, what we saw in the Oval Office. Let's just go to the Oval Office for a second, where Donald Trump kicked out the Associated Press and replaced the Associated.
That's right. We have never seen the president kick anybody out. We've never seen that. We've never, ever in freaking probably history. I'm talking about the old time. America's been alive. America's been. What you said?
What has Trump been saying for the longest time since he came in office? He's been saying
since before he came in office.
Fake news. The same with your title, He's been calling out the fake news. Right. So it's only right that he kicks them out. You know what I mean?
He kicked out the president of Ukraine.
Yeah.
Kicked him out.
Get up out of here, man.
Wait. Not only kicked him out, Zelensky tried to come back, and Trump said, no, you can't come in. I'm going to show you that too.
With Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend is now the press, and he's in the Oval Office. Brian Glenn asking
This guy is upset, right? They are upset because they are losing, and I'm so glad they losing. They are losing. These punk.
Hitting questions of President Zelensky like, why don't you wear a suit? Do you own a suit? Here, play this clip.
Second question. My second question for President Zelensky. Why don't you wear a suit?
Yo, bro, Mizu, no lie. When I seen this clip right here, when he asked him, why don't you wear a suit? When this guy first came up to the White House at this particular junction right here, at this venue, I said to myself, why does he keep dressing like that? I mean, when you go to other
people, that he's in war mode,
listen. When you come to other people's countries, come on. It's like if you invite me to your church, and more than likely, I'm going to attempt to have some form of church.
Are you going to give a guy that looks like he's in war mode more money, or a guy? Are you going to give a guy that looks like he's on the battlefield in war mode more money, or a guy with a cheap suit? So I think he's looking at it.
I get you. I was just always curious about that.
Yeah.
I was just always curious about that.
He's always wearing that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I get it. No, I get it.
Why don't you wear a suit? You're at the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see if do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans have problems with you not respecting.
I don't have such.
He in a room full of the Americans that are on attack mode. This is the real America right here, the attack mode. They're not playing no games. America has been hijacked by the deep state for this long time until now. But these are the Americans that's fighting back, and this is wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Hold on,
Yes,
Street
maybe.
Fighter. What's up, Street Fighter?
Wow. Maybe something like
It says Street Fighter, yo, Keith. Street Fighter, yo, Keith. I want to send you a message. People are claiming Trump is a racist. Racist. Need to know this. Nah, he's not racist. I'm gonna break it down right now. Street Fighter. Trump pardoned the black.
Yeah, Trump ain't racist. Yo. Don't believe the hype.
Who sexed with white women? Where is this at right here? This must be. Wait, hold on. Hold on. 1 second. 1 second, man. Let me see what this is. Is that? Oh, that's Instagram. Yeah. Oh, okay, Instagram. All right, I'm just. Let me. Okay. You said Trump pardoned black. You said Trump pardoned the black heavyweight champ, Jack. Oh, okay. You know what? I did. You know what? Now, if I'm not mistaken, he did that on his first term. If I'm not mistaken. Oh no, he just did that. He did that on this term. If I'm not mistaken, Street Fighter. You know what I'm saying? They trying to, play Trump, but we gonna get in them. We're gonna crush them right now. We're gonna crush all of these people that are claiming Trump is white supremacist. Seriously. Seriously. I'd bet any amount of money on that one. Seriously, because we have the records, we have the proof, and I'm gonna crush them with it. I'm gonna crush the bourgeoisie blacks. I'm gonna crush the blacks that are complicit, in working on some form of fashion with the enemy. I am gonna crush them. We crushing them. Let's go.
something like yours. Yes. Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper. Yeah. Thank you.
And then we saw sights like this in the Oval Office. Absolutely disgraceful. Donald Trump going to Zelensky. You don't have the cards to play. Zelensky and Donald Trump continuing to.
Excuse me. You don't have the cards. We just gave you $350 billion as well as military assets, and you cannot account for it. Okay? What do you mean? What do you mean, deep state actor? What are you saying? Come on. Matt, what you think, Matt?
Exactly. It's madness. They're all acting, They're all acting, and they're getting paid for it too, You gotta look at it like that,
And they get paid. No, and I totally get it. So my thing is to make sure that we are fighting back as far as that propaganda that they're spilling. We are going to critique it and make sure and punch the holes in it and show where it is that these people are taking us off the reservation or attempting
to yell at Zelensky. I did a whole.
What you said?
I said you always got to counter it with facts. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
They're gonna push all the propaganda they can.
Totally get it. But for the first time, we are so strong collectively. We have been fighting. We're talking about white, black, non-blacks, who is all a part of this fight.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? You got to understand this, man. It's a big fight, and those who know. Those who are fighters not just fighters, but those who are fighting for the righteous cause. No, you know what I'm saying? Shit. I'm not sitting here saying I'm white. I'm not acting like I'm not saying I'm a white boy and I'm over here running and I'm over here running with Trump. You know, I'm not saying that.
And let's be real, that 350 billion is our reparations money. You know what I'm talking about?
No, let's be real. Correct. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. And they can't, and it's not like it went to what it was supposed to go for. That's the thing. And that's the questions that Trump is asking. I don't see what's wrong with that. We have our American president really getting presidential. Like, yo, where's our money? You know, I've never heard that before. I've never heard of an American president actually
never, right?
stand up and do something, man. I'm tired of that. You know,
yo, where's the money at?
And again,
shit. Where the money?
And again, it's not a race. It's not a race thing. It's a cause thing. Trump is white. I'm black, but I'm not gonna. Oh, because Trump white, I'm not going to adhere to what Trump is saying. I'm not gonna. I'm not going. If Trump is making sense in whatever it is that he's talking about in his policy,
exactly. It's all about logic, yo. It ain't about
exactly. That's all I'm saying. What are we talking about here? That's all I'm saying.
That's what the racists do. You know, we ain't racist.
We're not racist. So what the hell? I'm not. Why is it a problem if I want to go and champion what Trump is talking about? Why is it a problem if I want to push what Trump is talking about? I'm not a racist, dog. No, I mean, you got to understand that. Now, people who are racist to me, now that's a different story, bro. You know what I'm saying, Matt? That's different. No, straight up. That's when I'm like, okay, you know, let me give you some venom that I kind of always wanted to give him because you know I've been, you know, I used to read all of these books, you know, coming up. You got to pass these grades to know all of this information as far as our people. We're like, oh, you know, that stuff is like they like coded that in us. Like, okay, you know, so you know, but we're not racist. But then when we encounter one, we're like, oh, okay, it's unleash time. You know what I mean?
Yeah. If Biden would have been the president, he would have gave them 350 more billion. You know what I'm talking about? And then his son, he pardoned his son. His son is guilty of all types of work.
Not only that, this guy Zelensky came from his country, right?
Yep.
In the middle of war and campaigned with Joe Biden, with Kamala Harris, and JD Vance brought that up. Yep. So Street Fighter said, "Who sexed?" The Street Fighter said, "Yeah, right." So Jack Johnson, they said, sexed white women in the very early 1900s, and I do know of that story. Facts. Also, I know of that story, Street Fighter. But Trump said, "Freak that." Trump parted them.
Yep.
Just like Trump stood by
and knocked out all the white men. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
No, I didn't hear what you said.
He used to knock out all the white women, white men, and sex all the white women. You know what I'm talking about?
Damn, he was knocking them both out. Shit.
Yeah.
Damn, knocking them down. You know,
driving around New Jersey in the latest cars and shit.
And he was
hated that. And that's the thing about it. You know, we gotta understand that. Yo, they don't like certain people don't like that. So we gotta put it in their face. You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm. And you know, I love that nobody says this, but Trump stood by Mike Tyson when everybody was looking at Mike Tyson like he was Trump at that time.
Yeah.
Well, you know, even worse than Trump at that time, actually. And they actually put him in jail.
Yeah.
You know, and who stood by him when nobody did? Seriously, a white boy by the name of Donald Trump. That's a fact.
Trump.
That's a fact. We talking about at that time. We're not talking about now. And he did it when he wasn't.
Everybody wanted to be close to Trump as a black man back in the days because look,
you say it again. Say it again.
Everybody wanted to be close to Trump as a black man.
But get this. But it was vice versa because Trump wanted to be around those people also. So it was you know, Trump, man, listen, man, I'm so glad that this is God in action. What's happening right now? Not Trump.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what's going on. You know, this is a wonderful time to be alive. But let's look at these Democratic shills.
Whole other video on this, multiple videos on it. So I'm not going to show all of the clips here. I'll just show you a small portion. Play this clip.
Beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
President.
position.
I was
You don't
in
have
it.
the cards right now. With us, you start
I'm
having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III.
What do you think
You're
about?
gambling with
What do you
World
think
War
about?
III.
So then Donald Trump, with his stupid little red hat, walks outside, unkempt, of the Oval Office of the White House. He's standing out there with his hands in his stupid MAGA hat. And Donald Trump is asked, well, what could Zelensky
What did Donald Trump do to you people? Why is he stupid? Why is he all of this? What did he do? Why did he urge? All he is attempting to do is help America. What is wrong with that? I don't understand that. He wants to get out of a war because he wants to stop funding the war that's killing millions of people, and he's funding it right now. He wants to stop that. He don't want to give arms to Ukraine. He wants to have peace. Okay, what is wrong with that? Why is this guy spewing this type of rhetoric? I never understood it. Everything Donald Trump does, this guy right here gets online and does the most and says the most every single time. Trump can't do nothing right. Even if he's doing something only for Americans, he still can't do it nothing right. And that's the propaganda that we're talking about. That's called propaganda, people.
Big time propaganda. Because who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? Who is this guy?
Well, these type of channels, like he has 425 million subscribers, right? So it's him and it's another
million or 1,000? 400? What?
What you said?
He has 425 million
No.
subscribers?
No. I did. I messed up right there.
Million.
So he has 4.25 million subscribers. But it's not just him. It's like a network, and there's another guy that sits there and does this. He has like blonde hair or whatever.
If that's the case, why did Trump win by a landslide? What he said?
Landslide. Destroyed. Took the soul of the Democratic Party. You want to know why he destroyed them? Because of the blacks. Because the blacks, if again, the whites are so. I want to say they are so split. Okay, so split down straight down the middle. Okay, so whichever ethnicity, if you can get the blacks on your side, mostly on your side, the blacks tip the scales for you. Okay, so what these politicians have been doing is, oh, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you that, telling the black peoples, I'm gonna give you this, I'm gonna give you that. Every 4 years they tell them that, and they don't give them anything. But the only thing that they do give us is they will give us fear mongering. They will tell us, oh, this guy is this guy. Remember, before Donald Trump, it was George Bush. Remember, before, as far as the media attacking who they want to attack, but they wasn't attacking Bush. The media wasn't attacking Bush like that. The black people was going off. You know what I'm saying? But they wasn't attacking Bush because Bush is on their team. Bush is the same as Bill Clinton. The same. They are on the same team, but not Trump. Trump is not on their team. That's the difference. This is what's going on.
Not a part of any party. That's what they're mad at. You know what I'm saying?
What you said?
Trump is really not a part of any party.
Right. He went in there and took over that party. He was a part of the Democrats. Went in there, and then the Democrats turned on him because he seen what they were about, and then he went over to the Republicans, and then he had to fight them. He's still fighting them, but they have overwhelmingly been taken over by their people. So all of the senators in the Republican Party pretty much have to do what Donald Trump say. Why? Or they'll be out because their people will vote them out. That's why.
Right.
That's why.
Exactly.
Zelensky have said to you? Like, what do you want to hear him say? And Donald Trump goes, well, he keeps saying this and that about Putin, all this negative stuff about Putin. He shouldn't be talking negative about Putin. Donald, you are Putin's puppet. Here, play this clip.
He's got to say, I want to make peace. He doesn't have to stand there and say about Putin this, Putin that, all negative things. He's got to say, I want to make peace. I don't want to fight a war any longer. His people are dying. He doesn't have the cards, just so you understand it, okay?
And look, President Zelensky was pushing back at Donald Trump, defending himself as a human being, but more importantly, defending Ukraine and frankly, standing up for all democracies in the face of Donald Trump and J.D. Vance's bullying and intimidation.
Talking while it was muted, but spewing this nasty rhetoric. He's talking about Zelensky defending Ukraine like we really care about Ukraine over here. I mean, I'm really trying to understand these people.
Yeah, we don't care about Ukraine. Straight up.
Intimidation tactics. And while Fox which has become state regime media here in the United States, was parroting Putin's talking points and Trump's talking points, Zelensky went on Fox. Zelensky wasn't backing down. And Zelensky, in English is not his first language or even his second language. Zelensky goes on Fox and Brett Baer saying, do you want to apologize? Maybe you should just apologize to Donald. And Zelensky stands on business. He goes, there's nothing for me to apologize for. I didn't do anything wrong in the Oval Office. By me saying that Putin is a bad person who's trying to kill Ukrainians, I was standing up for Ukraine. That's what was going down. Here, play this clip.
Fire during all these years, 10 years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President, a thought that you owe the president an apology.
No, I respect president and I respect American people. And if, I don't know, if I think that we have to be very open and very honest. And I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to free media. But there are things that where we have to understand the position of Ukraine and Ukrainians. And I think that is the most important thing.
He said we have to understand the position of Ukraine, and he thinks that is the most important thing. Really? He's in America talking about, he thinks that's the most important thing, worrying about the position of Ukraine.
First of all, you campaigned with Kamala during war. You're an idiot.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
As we said on the Midas Touch YouTube channel before, and as we posted on our social media platforms, this is what J.D. Vance was wearing in law school. This is a real photo. As we said, there were certainly signs where J.D. Vance sided in all of this. World leaders, though, of democracies, that is, raced to the defense of Vladimir Zelensky. Statements like this. EU's chief diplomat said, quote, the free world needs a new leader after Trump's Zelensky meeting. Here were statements from all of these world leaders everywhere from Canada to Europe to Australia, all the world leaders, the European Union, all standing strong in supporting President Zelensky. Now let's compare that with the cabinet statements that were.
Why are they all standing strong? What, We don't want to give you no more money. Where's the problem? What? Why can't we say we don't want to give you no more any money? Why don't you leaders that's standing up? Why don't you leaders of your nations? Why don't you turn around and give Ukraine money? This is what Trump is saying. Why are we the bulk of this? This is nonsense, and it's a corrupt scheme. It's a corrupt scam all the way through and through. Okay, and that's what it's all about. And Trump is showing us that it's just a scam. Okay, and that's what's going on. We've been knew Ukraine was nothing but a scam.
Trump said you have no cards. You have no cards.
No cards. Check this joint out real quick. Watch this.
That's how they deal. That's how they do it international politics. You know, like a card game. You know, like poker.
Right. Watch this. Let me see, Zelensky. All right. Trump.
Have you seen this? It's absolutely insane. Look at the presentation on what's inside this can.
Back to the White House, Jackie Heinrich has some new information for us. Jackie.
Yeah, I just went up to the press area to get an understanding of what we're watching. This is what I was told. The president has kicked Zelensky out of the White House. His delegation right now is telling him that he's got to go home. The president felt disrespected. Officials in the room felt that beyond the language barrier that we've heard some discussion about, Zelensky's body language, shrugging and eye rolling, was ungrateful, disrespectful. And the president feels that Zelensky is not ready for peace and he can come back when he's ready to talk about peace. But he's not in that position right now. And Zelensky is being told he's got to go. The lunch that they were supposed to have is sitting right outside the hallway. And the press staffers are going to be eating that lunch. This is really pretty incredible. We see the SUV.
Hang on with us one
Zelensky's
moment.
SUV.
If you look to your left, you're going to see him. Let's watch.
Mr. President, is the deal off? President Zelensky, can you tell us what happened?
They're talking about Trump. They're like, Trump just kicked us out.
mineraalissopimuksen allekirjoittaminen peruttiin kokonaan ja Zelenskyi juuri astui sisään autoonsa sadat toimittajat.
Did you sign the minerals deal? Did you sign the minerals deal? Why were you so disrespectful to the president?
Trump turned in the media, yo.
We may be watching
Trump
the floor
the media,
fall
yo.
through this moment in international relations and diplomacy, or this might be the art of the deal, and we're not going to know for some time. Jackie, it appears that even going into this meeting that this relationship was not great. About a week ago, President Trump called Zelensky a dictator.
Damn, bro. Damn. Just
Are you
kicked
gonna
him
call
straight
Trump
out,
a
bro.
dictator because he's asking you where the money's at?
No, Trump. No, Trump called him a dictator because he's not allowing his people. He's suspended elections, and he suspended elections in the name of this phony war that he want to keep going. So Trump called him a dictator.
Yeah,
and this is 2 weeks before he came. Let's hear that real quick. One time.
Meeting that this relationship was not great. About a week ago, President Trump called Zelensky a dictator. He was asked about that yesterday with the British Prime Minister, and he said, "Did I say that?" Next question, as if he wanted to brush that off.
Trump
and make
is
sure
a
that
beast.
today
Did you hear him?
went smoother.
Yo, bro, Trump is a beast. He said that. You.
If he wanted to brush that off and make sure that things today. He was asked about that yesterday with the British Prime Minister, and he said, "Did I say that?" Next question, as if he wanted to brush that off and make sure that things today went smoother.
Not playing no damn games. That's how you got to do it. Can't play with people, man. Play with people. People gonna play with you. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on.
Well, Zelensky, we're told, was begging to stay and work this out. The Ukrainians were begging the president and the White House to continue talking. The president's having none of it. He felt that Zelensky's just not ready for peace, and this deal was.
Trump is when our media want to turn, they are vicious and cold-hearted, bro.
It's not signed. There is no signing. There will be no joint press conference. The next time we're going to see the president is at departure. There he goes right behind me. Zelensky on his way out of the White House gate. No deal signed, no joint press conference.
No deal signed. Yo, Warzone, you there?
Yo, man. Must watch. She said that's gonna be must watch TV after what we have witnessed here today. And she ain't never lie about that. Damn.
And they're not right. They are not right. They didn't respect our territorial integrity. They brought the war on our territory to our families. Sorry for repeating, to our houses. And they're not right. And of course, all the Ukrainians want to hear strong position of the United States on our side.
He wants to hear. He wants us.
It's understandable.
He
From
wants
another
us to
side,
say
he wants to find some
that
way
we support them.
of dialogue with Putin. But he always said, as I remember, he always said that peace.
Just like when Israel comes over here, Congress stands up and say, "We support you," and they put out all of these tweets. We support Israel, this, that, and third. And this is what he's saying. I just want you to say we support you. We didn't ask you that. You were supposed to come over here and sign this mineral deal agreement and cause the first phase of the ceasefire. Come on, bro. You came all the way from your war zone not to sign? What? I mean, you couldn't have talked about that on the phone? Don't they have like camera phones? I mean, you couldn't have hashed out that. You said let's hear his reasoning, man.
Through strength. And that's why I think that he's strong. United States strong.
This is directly after he was kicked out of the White House yesterday. So Fox invited him on to their show. Okay.
Strong. Two parties together in this question, two parties always together against Russia. You're very strong to do strong steps against Putin.
Americans are worried about where the money has gone.
Yeah.
He said, yeah. Look at this dude, right?
Will there be a very rigorous accounting?
Yeah, we don't care about none of that other stuff. We like, where the money at, yo? Where the money at, y'all? It's $350 billion plus our military assets. And he's not going to do a good job.
Where the money has gone. It seems like there is some question about whether there's corruption or sold military equipment.
No, it can't be so. 100 billions we've got during 3 years.
183 from the U.S.
Now, on the paper, in the documents, yes. But we have, in fact, because 67 came like a weapon. It came through the border. It's checked and it's fixed by everybody, and we shared it not once with the American side. And 31.5, it was direct financial support to the budget. Again, it's very open. It's digitalized. It's open, free, and please, if somebody wants to check it again, we are very, very open with this.
Last thing, Mr. President.
Yeah.
Do you think your relationship with Donald Trump, President Trump, after today, can be salvaged?
Can be? Yes, of course, because it's.
He knew everything. How is it that he knew everything but that question? He don't understand that. Maybe it's, or maybe he didn't understand the word salvage or something. I don't know.
Relations more than two presidents. It's the historical relations, strong relations between our people. And that's why I always began with to thank your people, from our people. And this is the most important. And of course, thankful to President and of course to Congress, but first of all to your people. Your people help to save our people. People, the first. Human rights, the first. This is very, very important. And we are thankful and sorry for this. I mean, we wanted very much to have only strong relations, and I'm very count that we will have it.
Mr. President, we're honored that you kept this interview. Thank you very much for the time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
He only wants what he wants. We're not saying we don't want to be a friend and partner and everything like that. We're not saying that. Trump just wants to end the carnage.
Here's an easy thing you can do to add to your routine.
Trump just wants to end the carnage. We're not saying don't do that. Don't be our friend, and we can have meetings and things. I'm not saying that at all. But come on now, somebody has to draw the line now. Come on now, we can't keep going for that. That's insanity, man. If the American public allows that to keep on happening, come on, man. We can't allow that. So, let's see. Zelensky, man, he's gonna come over here, but come over here and we're supposed to just get a deal done. That's it. Supposed to sign the deal. And he winds up getting into a shouting match with our president on our soil. And then you have people attempting to stand up and defend this person, this guy. Where's our money at? We're talking about we want our money. He's talking about you can see it on the website. Well, hand it over then. Trump said we want our money back. If you got it, hand it over. What's the problem? What's going on? I don't get it.
A lot of chocolates here.
Well, thank you very much. It's an honor to have President Zelensky of Ukraine And we've been working very hard, very close. So we've actually known each other for a long time. We've been dealing with each other for a long time and very well. We had a little negotiation spat, but that worked out great. I think for both countries, I think for the world, actually, beyond both countries. And we have something that is a very fair deal. And we look forward to getting in and digging and working and getting some of the rare earth. But it means we're going to be inside, and it's a big commitment from the United States, and we appreciate working with you very much, and we will continue to do that. We have had some very good discussions with Russia. I spoke with President Putin, and we're going to try and bring this to a close. It's something that you want and that he wants. We have to negotiate a deal, but we've started the confines of a deal, and I think something can happen. The big thing is the number of soldiers, mostly at this point, but soldiers being killed. You're losing thousands of soldiers. So on both sides, we're losing a lot of soldiers, and we want to see it stop. And we want to see the money get put to different kinds of use, like rebuilding. And we're going to be working very hard. But we've had a lot of very good conversations. I will say until we came along, the Biden administration didn't speak to Russia whatsoever. They didn't speak to anybody. They just allowed this to continue. And I will say that, I'll say in front of you, you've heard me say it 1,000 times. If I were president, this war would have never happened. We would have had a deal negotiated for you without having to go through what you've gone through. But your soldiers have been unbelievably brave. We've given them great equipment, but somebody has to use the equipment. They've been unbelievably brave, and we give them great credit. This was supposed to be over very quickly, and here we are 3 years later. So I give tremendous credit to your generals and your soldiers and yourself in the sense that it's been very hard fighting, very tough fighting. They're great fighters. And you have to be very proud of them from that standpoint. But now we want to get it over with. It's enough, right? If we want to get it over with. So it's an honor to have you. The agreement at the conference in the East Room in a little while, right after lunch. And we'll be having lunch together. We're also discussing some other things, and we appreciate everybody being here. It's somewhat of an exciting moment, but the really exciting moment is when they stop the shooting and we end up with a deal. And I think we're fairly close to getting that. An honor to have you, and please, I'd like to say something.
No, thank you so much, Mr. President. Thank you for your invitation. And really, I hope that this first document will be a first step to real security guarantees for Ukraine, our people, our children.
Did you hear that? Did you hear what he was saying?
Yep.
Did you hear that he was saying, Trump just said that he's going to sign this agreement. We're going to meet in the East Room, right? So Trump is under the impression this whole time right here, he's coming over to sign an agreement. Look at this guy. He's not even keeping it real. That's crazy. How you don't keep it real the whole time? No, because you came to jump and hijack the media. You tried to get slick on Trump. And look at their posture right now. Trump is like, all right, I got this in the bag. You about to sign this deal. And look at this guy looking really sneaky. Looking really sneaky right now, bro. Look at his posture, bro. You were supposed to come there and sign this agreement, bro. That is nasty work. If you was not going to sign that agreement, why did you not just inform Trump prior to coming to America? What is going on? And not only that, it wasn't like an agreement that they just made up in 2 days or something like that. This agreement took weeks to get done, and as far as the estimation of what needs to get what and things like that, and they had to negotiate. And then you just come over here to do whatever he's going to do right now. They asked him if you had anything to say. He said no.
I really count on it. And of course, we count that America will not stop support. Really, for us, it's very important to support and to continue.
Everything is about them. Everything is about them. That's it. Clowns, man, get them out of here. That's why Trump we tired of you leeches. Get out of here, man.
I want to discuss it with details further during our conversation, and of course the infrastructure or security guarantees. Because for today, I understand what Europe is ready to do, and of course I want to discuss with you what United States will be ready to do, and I really count on your strong position to stop Putin. And you said that enough with the.
He counts on his position to stop Putin. I mean, come on, dog. Ain't you supposed to be doing that? You the one at war with him.
War. I think that is very important, Ben, to say these words to Putin at the very beginning of war, because he's a killer and terrorist. But I hope that together we can stop him. But for us, it's very important to, to save our country, our values, our freedom, and democracy. And of course, no compromises with the killer about our territories, but it will be later. And of course, what I wanted, we spoke about it by phone with you about the drones production. We have very good drones production. I think the best one in the world for today because of the war. Yes, and of course, we need very much the air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you helped us under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States. And we need licenses for quick production of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secure. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you. And we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian, that they stolen 20,000 of children, Ukrainian children. They changed their names. They changed their families, relatives, and now they're in Russia. We want to bring them back. And really, it's a big, big dream, task, and goal for me and our warriors. By the way, Mr. President, we released more than 4,000 warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images, how it's. Just can I now?
Yeah,
please. Some minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Just you to understand in what circumstances, in what situation they are, and what the attitude of Russia to our prisoners. That guys, just you before and after. And you see before and after, just you to understand. Now thousands of such guys, ladies and men, there. And so they don't eat, they beat them, and they do a lot of bad things. So out of, even during the war, there are rules. Everybody knows there are rules during the war. So these guys, they don't have any rules. You see that 50, 60 kilograms left, and a lot of such things. And I didn't want to show you what the changes with images of children, because I will share with you.
Yo, I'm seeing this right here. I only seen those clips of what happened, how Trump started spazzing out and all of that. I only seen those clips right there. Because I think I started watching when it started exploding right there. But I'm looking, this is nasty work. I would have exploded too. This is nasty work. He is litigating, like the vice president said, he's litigating in front of the media. He was supposed to come over there and sign documents. Are you kidding me? He's attempting to hijack our media. We didn't call you to come over here. You was not supposed to come over here and do this and try to hijack our media, and that's what he's doing. Look at this guy, man. Snaky self. Hold on, man. Hold on. Let me run it back right. Because I seen the look on this dude.
About the drones production, we have very good drones production. I think the best one in the world for today because of the war. Yes, and of course, we need very much and air defense. You have the best air defense in the world, and really you helped us under attacks of Russians. And I want to speak how we can exchange the licenses. We're open to share the licenses of all our drones with you, of course, with the United States. And we need licenses for quick production of air defense. Even after the war, we need our nation to be calm, that we are secure. So that's why we need this air shield. And of course, about this, I want to speak about the contingents. I think that France and UK already spoke to you. And we know that Europe is ready, but without the United States, they will not be ready to be as strong as we need. And the last point, last not least, about exchange, about our people and children. And you know that this crazy Russian, that they stolen 20,000 of children, Ukrainian children. They changed their names. They changed their families, relatives, and now they're in Russia. We want to.
Yo, if I was sitting there and I was Trump, I'm like, hold on, what is he talking about right now? Where is he getting at? Because I know he's supposed to go into the East Wing and sign this document right now. So what is he talking about right now? And what is he talking about in front of my media? My media. Okay? What is he doing right now? Okay, let me see. If I was Trump, this is what I'm doing right now. You know, because Trump obviously don't know what he's doing right now. Trump obviously don't know that this guy is fitting to renege right now.
To bring them back. And really, it's a big dream, task, and goal for me and our warriors. By the way, Mr. President, we exchanged, released more than 4,000 warriors from Russian prison, but there are thousands more in the prison. I wanted to share with you some images.
So I'm understanding.
Hold on. You have repeatedly called the deal with Ukraine as a historical one. And as a president of the United States, you make historical decisions in other issues which affect America and other world. So what place in the world history do you want to take? And do you associate yourself with any famous history?
Mr. President, I've got two questions for you. You think ultimately your legacy will be the peacemaker and not the president that led this country into another war and ended foreign wars? And I've got a question.
I hope it will. I mean, I hope I'm going to be remembered as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing if we could do this. I'm doing this to save lives more than anything else. Second is to save a lot of money, but I consider that to be far less important. So I hope I'm going to thank you, Brian, for that question. It was a nice question. I hope I'll be known and recognized as a peacemaker. This would be a great thing to solve. This is a very dangerous situation. You know, this could lead to a third world war. This was headed in the wrong direction. If this election were lost, if we didn't win this election, and by the way, we won it by a lot. That was a mandate. We won every swing state. We won the popular vote by millions and millions of votes. We won everything. The districts, you look at the areas of red, take a look at a map. This was a big mandate. And this was one of the things I said, we're going to get this thing settled. If we didn't win, I think this could have very well ended up in a third world war. And that would not have been a good situation. What was your second question?
And my second question for President Zelensky, why don't you wear a suit? Why don't you wear a suit? You're the highest level in this country's office, and you refuse to wear a suit. Just want to see people. Do you own a suit?
Yeah, problems.
A lot of Americans
sound like
American.
I will wear a costume after this war will finish.
Okay.
Yes, maybe something like yours. Yes. Maybe something better. I don't know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper than. Yeah. Thank you.
President Trump. Thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that you have.
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
Yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine. Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished. We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had. And
Yo, yo, Brody, watch him bat his eyes.
Well,
Maybe something like this.
something like
Yes,
yours,
sir.
yes.
That'd be great.
Maybe something better. I don't
Something better.
know. We will see. Maybe something cheaper. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
President
Thank
Trump.
you.
Thank you, President Trump. You said yesterday that you.
Are you going to send more arms to Ukraine in case there's no peace?
yeah, we're going to have arms to Ukraine. Yeah, sure. Hopefully, I won't have to send very much because hopefully we're going to have it finished.
Watch his eyes.
We're looking forward to finishing this quickly. We're not looking forward to sending a lot of arms. We're looking forward to getting the war finished so we can do other things. But we very much appreciate the agreement because we needed what they had. And we're treating, our country is now treated fairly. Biden didn't do that. He didn't know what the hell he was doing. This should have never happened. This should have never started. But, sure, the answer is yes. But hopefully we won't have to send much because I'm looking forward to getting it done quickly, very quickly.
Does that mean you'll provide security guarantees, Mr. President?
I don't want to talk about security yet because I want to get the deal done. You fall into the same trap like everybody else. A million times you say it over and over. I want to get the deal done. Security is so easy. That's about 2% of the problem. I'm not worried about security. I'm worried about getting the deal done. The security is the easy part. Security is very nice. Everybody stops shooting. And now will Europe put people there? I know France is going to. I know the UK is going to. I know other countries are going to, and they happen to be right next door. We haven't committed, but we could conceivably. We have security in a different form. We'll have workers there digging, taking the raw earth so that we can create a lot of great product in this country. So in that sense, you have something, but we haven't determined that yet. I will say, in speaking to France and in speaking to, and they were here, as you know, last week and just the other day, they have committed to a lot of security. I don't think you're going to need much security. I think once this deal gets done, it's over. Russia's not going to want to go back, and nobody's going to want to go back. When this deal ends, I really believe this deal is going to be over. Yeah, please go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Mr. President, thank you. You had President Macron and Keir Starmer at the White House this past week, both of whom praised your courage and conviction to lead the pathway towards peace.
Yes.
Part of that involved, though, re-engaging Russia in diplomatic relations, something that previous leaders lacked the conviction to do so. What gave you the moral courage and conviction to step forward and lead that?
Well, I love this guy. Who are you with?
One American News, sir.
Well, that's why I like him. One American News does a great job. I like the question. I think it's a very good question. It's a pathway to peace. It's a pathway to getting something solved. And I feel that as the head of this country, I have an obligation to do that. Plus, we're very much involved. We got involved. It's too bad we got involved because there should have been no involvement because there should have been no war. And there shouldn't have been October 7th. That would have never happened. As you know, Iran was broke. They had no money to give to Hezbollah. They had no money.
And began this war, he has to pay all money for innovation. He has to pay. Of course, some Russian assets, what we have in Europe, about 300 billion, we can use them. We can use for innovation and buy military support from the United States also. We can do it, but it's not enough. It's not enough.
Wait, 1 second.
I asked this question that you didn't like because I wanted to know if you want to position yourself in the middle between Russia and Ukraine or on the Ukraine's.
No, I'm in the middle. I want to solve this thing. I'm for both. I want to get it solved. And
Look, and this guy, he don't want to solve this. Zelensky don't want to solve this. They want to keep this going. He wants to stay in power. He has suspended. Zelensky suspended all elections in Ukraine due to this war, and he don't want to suspend it. Why is that? I'm hearing that his people, the people in Ukraine, really don't like him that much from what I'm hearing. So I'm not too sure what's going on, but we'll see.
And it's wonderful to speak badly about somebody else, but I want to get it solved. If we can solve it, great. If we can't solve it, they're going to have to fight it out, and who knows what's going to happen. But I want to see it get solved.
May I follow up? One more question about U.S. troops in Europe. After Russian invasion of Ukraine, your predecessor sent additional troops to Eastern Europe, including Poland, my country.
Yeah.
Are you committed to keeping these troops on the eastern flank of NATO in the future?
I'm very committed to Poland. I think Poland has really stepped up and done a great job for NATO. They, as you know, they paid more than they had to. They are one of the finest groups of people I've ever known. I'm very committed to Poland.
What about Baltics?
Poland's in a tough neighborhood, you know.
What about the Baltics?
The Baltics, they got a lot of, it's a tough neighborhood too, but we're committed. We're going to be very committed, and we're committed to NATO. But NATO has to step up, and the Europeans have to step up more than they have. And I want to see them equalize, because they are in for far less than we're in, and they should be at least equal. You understand that? Why is the United States, we have an ocean in between. Why is the United States in for so much more money and other things as Europe? With that being said, and as you said, they've also been obviously very helpful, but we have put in far more than they have. And I think they should equalize.
Mr. President,
please, go ahead.
About the agreement again today, what changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelensky the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal. So
what was the
I'm just,
deciding factor?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed. I didn't think we were going to make a deal. And we ended up making the deal. So that changed.
Mr. President, why and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelensky and Putin?
I don't know. Well, they don't like each other. I can tell you that. They do obviously very helpful, but we have put in far more than they have, and I think they should equalize.
Mr. President,
please go ahead.
About the agreement again today, what changed between the first time that Secretary Bessent gave President Zelensky the agreement and today for the signing?
We made a deal. So
what was the deciding factor?
I'm a business person. We made a deal. That's what changed. I didn't think we were going to make a deal, and we ended up making the deal. So that changed.
Mr. President, why and how do you envision a trilateral summit with President Zelensky and Putin?
I don't know, but well, they don't like each other. I can tell you that. Okay? They do not like each other. This is not a love match, and it's unfortunate. That's why you're in this situation. The United States should not have allowed this to happen. Okay? The United States, run by a man that didn't know much. I'm going to be very nice. Run by an incompetent person, very incompetent person, should never have allowed this to happen. I've stopped wars. I've stopped many wars. My people will tell you, I stopped wars that nobody ever heard about. I stopped wars before they ever started. You can look at some of, I could give you a lot of nations that would tell you right now they were probably going to war. I could tell you right now there's a nation thinking about going to war on something that nobody in this room has ever even heard about. Two smaller nations, but big, still big. And I think I've stopped it. But this should have never happened.
Sorry, just a second. About any negotiations. First of all, I want really to tell you, and I think that everybody understands that Ukraine, more than Ukrainians, nobody wants to stop this war. But at the future, any negotiations, it's understandable that two sides of the war, not Russia and the United States, because this is not the war between Russia and the United States. This is war of Russia against Ukraine and Ukrainian people. So these two sides will be at the will be at the negotiation table. Then of course United States, like the strongest partner of the Ukraine, and of course Europe. I think Europe is very important. I want to speak about it with the president. Yes, Europe is very important for us because we really defend Europe for today. All Europeans really recognize that we are defend the line, and they have real life, and our people are dying. That's why they helped us. And also, it's about the NATO. Yes, between, like the president said, you have big, nice ocean. Yes, between us. But if we will not stay, Russia will go further to Baltics and to Poland, by the way. But first to the Baltics. It's understandable for them because they've been in the USSR. You know, they've been one of the republics of the USSR, and Putin wants to bring them back to his empire. It's a fact. And when he will go there, if we will not stay, you will fight. Your American soldiers, it doesn't matter, do you have ocean or not, your soldiers will fight.
Mr. President, would you be willing to visit Ukraine, maybe Kiev or Odessa, which is going to be a dirty area of the Black Sea?
It was my question.
I'm sorry.
I don't want to talk about Odessa now. Let's not talk about Odessa. I want to talk about making a deal, getting peace. We don't have to talk about Odessa. But a lot of cities have been destroyed. A lot of. One more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied
hold up,
our
John,
parts,
down,
big
y'all.
parts of Ukraine, part of East and
We're about
Crimea.
to go down.
So he occupied.
That'd be so tough, but you're never going to get a deal that way. So that's the way it goes. All right, one more question.
Hey, I will respond to this. So look, for 4 years in the United States of America, we had a president who stood up at press conferences and talked tough about Vladimir Putin, and then Putin invaded Ukraine and destroyed a significant chunk of the country. The path to peace and the path to prosperity is maybe engaging in diplomacy. We tried the pathway of Joe Biden of thumping our chest and pretending that the president of the United States' words mattered more than the president of the United States' actions. What makes America a good country is America engaging in diplomacy. That's what President Trump is doing.
Can I ask you?
Sure.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So he occupied our parts, big parts of Ukraine, part of East and Crimea. So he occupied it on 2014. So during a lot of years, so I'm not speaking about just Biden, but those time was Obama, then President Obama, then President Trump, then President Biden, now President Trump, and God bless, now President Trump will stop him. But during 2014, nobody stopped him. He just occupied and took. He killed people. You know what the contact
2015.
2014.
2014 and 2014.
2014.
Yeah. So
I was not here.
Yeah, but
That's exactly
but-
right.
Yes, but during 2014 till 2022, yeah, the situation the same. The people are been dying on the contact line. Nobody stopped him. You know that we had conversations with him, a lot of conversation, my bilateral conversation, and we signed with him. Me, like a new president in 2019, I signed with him the deal. I signed with him, Macron and Merkel, we signed ceasefire. Ceasefire, all of them told me that he will never go. We signed with him with gas contract. Gas contract. Yes, but after that, he broken the ceasefire. He killed our people and he didn't exchange prisoners. We signed the exchange of prisoners, but he didn't do it. What kind of diplomacy, JD, you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media.
Right, and that's
Right
what
now,
he's
you
doing.
guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for
Have you
trying to
ever
bring
been-
it into this
Have you
conflict.
ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military? And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems. Even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless.
You don't
God
know
bless.
that.
You're not in the war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because
I'm
you're in no
answering on
position
this
to
question.
dictate that.
That's
Remember
exactly what
this.
you're doing.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very
You will
good.
feel influenced.
We're going to feel very
I'm
good and
telling
very
you,
strong.
You will feel influenced.
Right now, not in a very good position. You've allowed
From the
yourself
very-
to be in a
from
very
the
bad
very
position,
beginning
and he
of the
happens
war.
to be right about
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not
Mr.
in a good
Brown,
position.
I
You don't
was-
have the cards right now. With us, you start having
not playing
cards.
cards.
Right now, you don't.
I'm very
You're playing
serious,
cards.
Mr. President.
You're
I'm
playing
very
cards.
serious.
You're
I'm
gambling
the
with the
president
lives
in
of
war.
millions of people.
You think-
You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's
with
back
all
to you.
respect to your
Far
country.
more than a lot of people said
Well,
they
respect.
should have.
Have you said thank you once this
A lot
entire
of
meeting?
times.
No, in this
Even
entire meeting,
today.
have you said thank
Even
you?
today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's
can.
not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly.
He wasn't. I didn't understand why he even said that. Why he was speaking loudly. I didn't understand that. How is he speaking loudly? I didn't understand that. That didn't make any sense to me.
Your country's in big trouble.
Can I?
Wait a minute. No.
Can
You've
I
done a lot
answer?
of talking. Your country
He
is
has.
in big trouble.
Trump has been very reserved that whole time. And now we understand that you were not going to sign the contract. When Trump first said, yes, we're going to sign the contract and we're going to do it in the East Wing. And then as you were talking, we realized, hold on, he's saying that he's not going to sign the contract. You're talking about you need backups and all of that, and contingencies is what he said, is what he termed it. We're like, hold on, what?
I know.
You're not winning. You're not winning this. You have a damn good chance of
We are
coming out
staying,
okay because of
Mr.
us.
President, we are staying in our country, staying strong from the very beginning of the war. We've been alone, and we are thankful. I said thanks
You haven't
in
been
this
alone.
cabinet,
You
and
haven't
not
been
only
alone.
in this
We
cabinet.
gave you,
I
under this
said
stupid president, $350 billion.
You
We
voted
gave
for
you
your
military equipment,
You
and you
voted
men
for
are
your
brave, but they had to use our military.
What about
If you didn't have
You
our
invited
military
me-
equipment,
You invited
if
me
you
to
didn't
speak.
have our military equipment, this war would have been over in 2 weeks.
In 3
okay?
days, I heard it from Putin. In 3 days, this is something
Maybe
new.
less.
In 2 weeks, of course, yes.
It's going to be a very hard thing to do business like this. I
Again,
tell you.
just say thank you.
I said a lot of
Except
times
that there,
thank you
except
to
that-
American people.
Except that there are disagreements, and let's go litigate those disagreements rather than trying to fight it out in the American media when you're wrong. We know that you're wrong.
But you see, I think it's good for the American people to see what's going on.
I understand, sir.
I think it's
I
very
understand.
important. That's why I kept this going so long. You have to be thankful. You don't have the
I'm
cards.
thankful.
You're buried there. Your people are dying.
tell you
You're
again,
running
I
low
know.
on soldiers.
Don't-
Listen,
don't please,
you're running
Mr.
low
President.
on soldiers. It would be a damn good thing.
Mr.
And then
President.
then you tell us, I don't want a ceasefire. I don't want a ceasefire. I want to go and I wanted this. Look, if you could get a ceasefire right now, I tell you, you take it so the bullets stop flying and your men stop getting killed.
Of course, we want to stop the war.
But you're
I
saying
said-
you don't want to see.
But I said to you,
I want a
with
ceasefire
guarantees.
because you'll get a ceasefire faster than an agreement.
Ask our people about ceasefire, what they think.
That wasn't
doesn't
with
matter
me.
for you what-
That
what
wasn't
this
with me.
means.
That was with a guy named Biden, who was not a smart person. That was with Obama.
It was your president.
Excuse me. That was with Obama, who gave you sheets, and I gave you javelins.
Yes.
I gave you the javelins to take out all those tanks. Obama gave you sheets. In fact, the statement is Obama gave sheets and Trump gave javelins. You got to be more thankful, because let me tell you, you don't have the cards. With us, you have the cards. But without us, you don't have any cards.
One more question to Mr. Vice President. I'm sorry.
It's going to be a tough deal to make because the attitudes have to change.
What if Russia breaks ceasefire? What if Russia breaks peace talks? What do you do then? I understand that it's a heated conversation right now.
What are you saying?
She's asking, what if Russia breaks the ceasefire?
Well, what if anything?
This is funny
What
right
if
now.
a bomb drops on your head right now? Okay? What if they broke it? I don't know. They broke it with Biden because Biden, they didn't respect him. They didn't respect Obama. They respect me. Let me tell you, Putin went through a hell of a lot with me. He went through a phony witch hunt where they used him and Russia. You ever hear of that deal? That was a phony Hunter Biden, Joe Biden scam. Hillary Clinton, Shifty Adam Schiff. It was a Democrat scam.
Look, you can tell this dude is uncomfortable. He's shifty. Look, you can tell this dude is super uncomfortable, man. He's shifty. He don't know how to position himself to be comfortable. He's jittery. Yo, this is too funny, man. He wanted to litigate in front of the American public, and Trump was allowing him to, until J.D. Vance started speaking, and then this guy wanted to go and do his negotiations in front of the American public and continue it. Trump started to interject, like, okay, let's do it. We're gonna do it right here, right now. Let's do it. Let's square off. Let's battle. Negotiation time. Let's go.
And he had to go through that. And he did go through it. We didn't end up in a war. And he went through it. He was accused of all that stuff. He had nothing to do with it. It came out of Hunter Biden's bathroom. It came out of Hunter Biden's bedroom. It was disgusting. And then they said, oh, the laptop from hell was made by Russia, the 51 agents. The whole thing was a scam. And he had to put up with that. He was being accused of all that stuff. All I can say is this. He might have broken deals with Obama and Bush, and he might have broken them with Biden. He did, maybe. Maybe he didn't. I don't know what happened. But he didn't break them with me. He wants to make a deal. I don't know if you can make a deal. The problem is I've empowered you to be a tough guy. And I don't think you'd be a tough guy without the...
And that's a shame. Trump just said he don't know if he can make a deal. And that's because this guy, Zelensky, does not want to make a deal. This is nuts. He wants to continue the wretched corruption him and the Biden family has cooked up. And Trump ain't with it.
The United States. And your people are very brave. But you're either going to make a deal or we're out. And if we're out, you'll fight it out. I don't think it's going to be pretty, but you'll fight it out. But you don't have the cards. But once we sign that deal, you're in a much better position. But you're not acting at all thankful. And that's not a nice thing. I'll be honest, that's not a nice thing.
He said, I'll be
all
honest.
right, I think we've seen enough. What do you think? Huh? This is going to be great television, I will say that. All right. We'll see what we can do about putting it together. Thanks, sir.
I need the back of this.
We'll see. I don't know.
Guys, come on, let's move.
Thank you.
Damn. Damn. This is madness. Check this out. Madness. They want us to believe this nonsense that they keep constantly putting in front of our faces and on these screens. And Trump is going for it.
Professionals who have cut their teeth on Russia, not from the perspective of the Cold War. How can we not just oppose the Soviet Union, but how can we get along with the Soviet Union? Sort of a Reagan model, even a Bush model, Papa Bush, but instead have adopted the Clinton, Bush, Obama, Trump in his first term, Biden approach of Russia is a adversary, and since 2016, Russia is the enemy, and that everything that comes out of Russia is bad, and everything that Putin puts out is propaganda, and Russia is to be opposed in every way, shape, or form. But it's not one that, if you take a look at it over time, you'll see inconsistency in it. But at least the inconsistency appears to be in a pattern, meaning that the greatest inconsistency is early on, as Trump tries to discuss Russia and discuss, the framework around which how he sees a negotiation taking place. And then you look at it as it progresses to where we are today, and the disconnect is real. I mean, what he was talking about as recently as September, October, November of this year, December even of last year, I'm sorry, and what he's talking about today, just merely months later, it's night and day. To this day, it's infected with Russophobia. And so what Trump is doing is so against the grain of what the establishment wants done. And so this is purely about Donald Trump. This is not some sort of, inertia or momentum coming from a reformed American establishment. Donald Trump is destroying the establishment, and then from the ruins, projecting himself forward, bounding forward with a new vision on how to interact with Russia. And my daughter went with me to Russia last year, December, January, to see Russia firsthand. One would think that would be something that would be desired by an institution looking to better know how to deal with Russia, that you this meeting brought nothing to the table. The serious discussions will take place between Sergei Lavrov and Marco Rubio in the coming days, followed up by the meetings between the only two leaders that matter in this issue, and that's Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Emmanuel Macron, it came to the White House. We know that this wasn't, going to be a good event for him, because Donald Trump didn't meet him at the front door. He made Macron walk the walk of shame. That is the walk of irrelevance. Yes, he got to sit down with Trump and have a little discussion. Then they did a little joint press conference. There were no agreements made. There were no commitments made. Trump just sort of looked at him like, whatever, say what you want to say and leave, which he did. He flew in, was humiliated by
Scott Ritter, former weapons inspector for George Bush, got in, started to understand what was going on, seen the lies about the weapons of mass destruction, and became part of the resistance. He's one of us.
By not being greeted at the door, said what he wanted to say, and then he flew home. No state dinner, no nothing. It was an act of irrelevance, and Keir Starmer will do the same thing in the coming days. None of them matter to us. We don't need them. We don't want them, especially when they're obstructionist. If France thinks they're going to take $300+ billion of Russian sovereign wealth and somehow use that to pay for Ukraine, they're smoking dope. That just will not.
This is funny because this is white on white crime, and Trump is separating, delineating himself from the whites in Europe. He's saying we are American. This is too funny. This is too funny. And I'm so glad because the blacks are sitting back with the popcorn like this, just chilling like, yo, hey, man, all of this is movies to us because, damn, we done been through a lot. Let's go.
Not happen at all. Donald Trump will never go for it. And eventually, if France wants to join the family of nations, and notice what I'm saying here, you see the script has been flipped. It used to be if Russia wants to join the family of nations. But I think if you take a look at what happened at the United Nations recently, you'll see that, gosh, it was the United States voting with Russia, China, Belarus, North Korea, and it was France and the United Kingdom in opposition. Let's just put those two relevant forces on a scale and see which outweighs which. France and England are on the wrong side of history. Germany is on the wrong side of history. They're irrelevant. They don't matter. We don't care. And the proof is that we're going to go forward with an agreement with Russia that they have no say in whatsoever.
When you see these European leaders coming one by one, instead of, I don't know, making some sort of meeting between all of the European leaders together with the United States, what are they trying to, I don't know, to say to Donald Trump? What would be their position, their political point of view toward Ukraine, considering their position in Europe, their sort of strategy, or the situation is getting worse than that for Europeans, that they cannot bring something substantial, something more important that would be attractive for Donald Trump and his administration?
Well, right now, each European nation is playing to their own national egos. France is, putting emphasis on the, long relationship that dates back to Lafayette and the assistance France provided in the revolution. And yes, we appreciate that. Anybody who has studied American history knows the importance of the.
They're like, remember when I helped you back in 1482? Come on now. Why y'all acting like that, America? You don't remember? Yeah, I sent you the battleship in 1482. Come on now. That was all good. I mean, come on
That's
now.
hilarious.
That's how they on it, bro. What's up? Damn, bro.
Well, you remember the revolution, right? The Revolutionary War.
Yes.
It's about kicking them out. Loyalists.
What'd you say?
It was about kicking the loyalist Europeans out.
Kicking them out.
Creating America.
Create that right, creating America. And now it looks like they're about to get into their America look like it's going through its second revolution for real. As far as, man, they are kicking. They were bringing in the immigrants, whites. They were bringing, because the whites were the immigrants first. They were bringing in the whites and from Europe. And now it's like, should they're attempting to stop that and create a whole new America, as far as even, as far as claiming that, listen, this white man is this white man. This white man is the American white man. That is the European white man. And Trump is making that extremely clear. A lot of people in the media don't like that, but I'm feeling like the American whites don't have a problem with it. I'm talking the American white citizenry. What you think?
Yep.
That's exactly what it is.
That's what I think. I'm just going off of what I'm vibing. The vibes that I'm getting.
The
I'm just
American
thinking.
whites ain't going for it. You know what I'm saying? They
What
gotta
you
look
said?
at it like they ain't going for it because they
They
gotta
ain't
look
going
at it like,
for it.
yo, our
Nah, they
people,
ain't with it.
our slaves did more for us than the Europeans ever did. Now we're giving
Yeah.
them all this money. You know what I'm saying? What's up with that? And we're getting taxed up the yin yang.
Right.
So yeah, gotta
Right.
look at it.
It all makes sense, right? Like you said, logic. You know,
Yeah,
we're
logic comes with the universe.
correct.
Logic.
Logic is so beautiful. It's when you just can understand it. It's just such a beautiful connection when you can just understand it. It's
the French role in the American Revolution. We repaid that in 1917. Lafayette, we are here. General Jack Pershing said, as we put over 1 million Americans across the sea to save France from Germany. And we did save France. We saved the Western world from Germany. And we did it again in the 1940s, saving France, saving Europe from Germany. So the idea that France holds something over us is ludicrous. We've saved France twice in the last century, and we're going to save them again by avoiding a third world war with Russia. But Macron believes that he can come in. He had past meetings with Donald Trump in the first term where Trump went to France, and they famously got along. It was sort of a bromance, and he's hoping to play on that. But Donald Trump's not playing that game anymore. Donald Trump was polite. But the idea that France has a special relationship with the United States capable of putting pressure on Donald Trump to walk.
And this is the thing that I like too. Scott Ritter, at first, he didn't really like Donald Trump. He didn't like, but the funny thing is, I've been on board with Trump, but it's like I understood the way Trump was moving. I understand he moves in art of war fashion. He moves as far as understanding shock value. That's why Trump said that this is going to be great for TV. After that fallout with Zelensky, because he understands shock value, and Trump does that a lot. He uses that tactic a lot. So
Yep.
a lot of people, they're like, "Oh my goodness!" Once he shock value the public, they'll go crazy. Oh my goodness, Trump just said this. Oh my goodness, people start pulling their hair out.
Yeah,
And they
just
don't
like
understand.
his show there.
Huh? What'd you
Just
say?
like his show that he had. Trump
Right.
looked like he was on his show.
Right, like he's big and
You're fine.
grandiose. He makes it big and grandiose. So shock value. Like that big show he had. So and Scott Ritter started seeing. Hold on. So when Trump got in, and even when he got in and started talking crazy about, like he's siding with Israel and all. Scott Ritter is like, yo, this guy is gonna come in and just be disastrous when he come in. And then Trump got in, and then he was saying things that made Scott Ritter scared, but then Trump started to do like the complete opposite. And then Scott Ritter like, hold up. And now I'm feeling like Scott Ritter is probably fully on board with the with Trump with the Trump train right now.
Walk away from or modify the strategic agreement that he's getting ready to undertake with Russia is absurd. Let's just take a look at, for instance, and this is what everybody needs to focus on going out. See, Macron and Starmer and everybody, they're coming in and they're dealing with the United States as if security is now defined in militaristic terms, the way it was in the past. How much percentage GDP you can put into your defense, what role you play in NATO, etc. Trump's off that game. Trump doesn't play that game. Trump has taken James Carville's maxim from 1992, you'll sticky on the door for Bill Clinton in their war room as Bill Clinton ran for president. It's the economy, stupid. And that's the fact. It's the economy. And Trump has made a decision that this militaristic posturing by the United States is economically detrimental to the national security of the United States. I don't know how big our trade relationship is with France or Europe. I do know that it's not $7 trillion. That's the size of the mineral deposits that Vladimir Putin put on the table the other day for joint exploitation by the United States and Russia. This is in addition to the $350 to $500 billion worth of minerals, and it's opening the door for others. Multi-trillion-dollar deposits in the Congo are now on the table for the United States and perhaps Russia, if it becomes a good partner, to develop in Africa to create security. You see what's happening here. It's a paradigm shift in how security guarantees are being viewed by the world. No longer is it about American divisions on the ground or anybody's divisions on the ground. It's about economic relationships. And France doesn't get it. See, France isn't proposing an economic relationship. Europe continues to commit suicide. Germany last year spent $21 billion buying liquid natural gas from the United States. We provide 80% of Germany's liquid natural gas, by the way. And yet they turned around and spent $18 billion funneling that to Ukraine. Think of the economics of that, how stupid it is. Now it's committing suicide. All of Europe is committing suicide. There's not a single European nation whose economic balance sheet makes sense from this war. They're destroying themselves economically. And again, Trump isn't playing the game. Who are they trying to impress? Europe will never be able to stand up to Russia. I already told you that if France puts nuclear-capable aircraft into Germany, it destroys the decades-old American-backed NATO nuclear deterrence capability. And Trump will walk away from that in a heartbeat. In a heartbeat. And then France is left holding a bag that it can't afford to hold. It will fold like a house of cards.
This is great for
together
all
with the rest
Americans.
of Europe. Europe just hasn't thought this through.
This is great for all Americans. What Trump is doing, it's going to yield immense wonders and unspeakable benefits for the American public, period.
I liken, I've always said that NATO has been literally is an extension of American national security policy. That's it. NATO has no ability for independent policy formulation and implementation. It is an extension of America. The same thing with the EU. Its economy is driven by dictate coming from the G7, influenced by the G20, which are all dominated by the United States. So in effect, we can say that the United States is Frankenstein, and that NATO and the EU are Frankenstein's monsters. Well, the United States, the Frankenstein, was the deep state, something that this unelected bureaucracy that carried forward from administration to administration. It's dead. It doesn't.
He's breaking it all down right now for you. What's actually going on up top? He's been in it. He's breaking it all down. He's big because he's the one that said that he would not say that there was weapons of mass destruction. The government, or Bush's government, was attempting to force him to say that there were weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East to show as an excuse for our entry into war, in the theater of war of the Middle East. So and he's breaking this down. So he's breaking down what's actually really going on.
Doesn't exist anymore. It's been destroyed by Donald Trump. Vladimir Putin once warned of American presidents making promises on campaigns only to come into the Oval Office and have men in black suits show up and read them the reality, and those promises couldn't be met. Those men in black suits don't exist anymore. They've been fired. They're going to be arrested. It's just not there. So Frankenstein is dead. Dr. Frankenstein is finished. So what we have are Frankenstein's monsters who can't survive without Dr. Frankenstein, but they're still alive, stumbling around Europe, pretending
I've never thought I'll see these days right here. Let's
In
go.
that they're relevant. They're not. They're just monsters, and they will be put down. That's the reality of it.
Do you think that Donald Trump, in the big picture that he has, you're talking about objectives and goals of Donald Trump, are they beyond the economy of the United States in terms of military security with Russia and China, or it's all about the economy?
I think Donald Trump has made a decision that, and he has said this, again, we go back to his campaign, where he said that the greatest threat to the national security of the United States is the United States. And he further articulated that in the form of this rules-based international order, which he said imposes America on the world in a way the world isn't comfortable with and no longer desires. And if we continue to insist, as the Biden administration did, to double down on forcefully implementing the rules-based international order, then the world will turn against us. So he's changing the way in which the United States interfaces with the rest of the world. We can't be imposing our will. Let's just take a short class right now on what Trump talked about BRICS and de-dollarization, because a lot of people are talking about it and they've got it 100% wrong. The notion that Donald Trump came in and lectured BRICS about de-dollarization and threatened BRICS with 100%, 150% tariffs, and BRICS collapsed like a house of cards in fear over the wrath of Donald Trump. That's a narrative that's coming out. Trump is encouraging that narrative. It's absurd as the day is long. BRICS never wanted to de-dollarize. Vladimir Putin, who ran the BRICS summit last October, said, even as he presented the 100, whatever the hell that note was called, the BRICS notional money, he said BRICS isn't leaving the dollar. The dollar left BRICS. The problem isn't BRICS. China doesn't want to de-dollarize. India certainly doesn't want. Brazil has said de-dollarization will not be at the top of the agenda or even on the agenda in the Brazilian-led BRICS summit this year. Why? Because de-dollarization makes no sense. I mean, you have to do it if the dollar is going to be denied to you, but economically it's inefficient. It's expensive. It makes no sense. Nobody wants to de-dollarize. What they want, though, is that the dollar be available to them without consequence. So what Trump has said is that if you de-dollarize, I'll sanction you. Okay, that's one side of the equation. But now you tell me, if Donald Trump enters into a multi-trillion-dollar joint exploitation venture and opens up the Russian economy for American investment, is he going to do it without the dollar or with the dollar? And we know what the answer is. It's with the dollar. So the dollar will now be made available to Russia. We already see Visa and MasterCard talking about going into Russia. Good luck. Russia's built up the Mir payment system, and I don't know if they're going to just turn that back over to foreign banks. But the convenience of the dollar will now be made available to Russia. And what the United States was doing by secondary sanctions of nations who worked with Russia using additional, that disappears. If Russia has access to the dollar, there's no need to look for alternatives to the dollar. So Russia and India now will interact in the dollar. Russia and China in the dollar. The dollar will become the dominant currency again. And the scope and scale of the potential economic engagement between Russia and the United States is such that you can't untangle that. This will be strategic in nature. Canada right now is just they've committed suicide because, of course, they thought they were clever in standing up to Trump and talking about putting tariffs on aluminum. We got the Americans right now, the aluminum, and Putin went, yeah, we'll give you all the aluminum you need. Don't worry about it. That's the end of Canada. So this is a brave new world, and when we talk about China, just mark my words. Trump isn't going to be seeking to be confrontational with China. Trump is going to be looking for similar opportunities for large-scale, massive economic integration between China and the United States so that both nations thrive and neither nation can be in a position to threaten the other. And the way this is going to be done is not by trying to create a leverage between Russia and China, but to treat Russia, China, and India as a geopolitical economic singularity that America's plugging into. BRICS is no longer the enemy. BRICS is going to be used by the United States for its own benefit. It's sort of a cheap way to get to the global south, a shortcut. This is the direction that Donald Trump is heading in, I believe. And it's a direction that redefines how America interfaces with the world. It's not about the world having to live by rules imposed by the United States, but
exactly going up into another man's country, putting boots on the ground, destabilizing the country, using CIA assets. Enough of that. Let's get down to business. Let's do real business. Let's do real trade. Let's do real diplomatic policy and diplomacy. Let's really do it.
But the United States creating a new set of rules together with the big players in the world that says we will now seek economic collaboration as our primary methodology of coexistence, a distinct departure from military adversarial relationships or economic competition. You see, you don't compete with people that you're jointly developing trillion-dollar mineral wealth with. You cooperate with them. So I think this is the direction that we're heading. As I said before, we're in the midst of a revolution, and every aspect of the United States today is going through revolutionary transformation, domestically and from a foreign policy standpoint.
Since you've mentioned Europeans not being capable of confronting Donald Trump, how about the establishment in the United States? I'm talking about Democrats, Republicans, and we have even Republicans talking against Donald Trump, talking the way that they're not agreeing on what Donald Trump is talking about. How do you think that this establishment is going to deal with Donald Trump and his sort of way of dealing with the issues, political issues? I'm talking about the foreign affairs of the United States, not the internal affairs.
There is no viable opposition to Donald Trump. It's as simple as that. The Democrats are finished. They're ruined as a political party. They don't stand for anything. They're incapable of resistance. And we need to stop thinking about the Republican Party as the governing party. MAGA is the governing authority in America today. Make America great again. If you call yourself a Republican and you're not aligning yourself with MAGA, then you're basically the old Republican Party that Donald Trump crushed in 2016 when he went up against 17 of the Republican Party's most stalwart people and crushed them all in a primary to become president of the United States.
Exactly. Like I said, Trump has crushed the Republicans. He has made them have to bow down. I explained this earlier. All of these senators, these governors, constituents are going for Trump. If they are Republican, they're going for Trump. So the senators have to go for Trump. They have to, or they'll be out of there. So it's MAGA now. It's not even Republican no more. Even though that is it's the Republican Party, but no, the old Republicans out here. The new MAGA, in which Trump is showing you, is teaming up with the blacks. That's just the way it is. He's delineating the whites of America with the whites in Europe. He's delineating from the whites in Europe. That's what's going on right now. But just wanted to leave you with that. Mag Mizzle, I appreciate you. You already know my dog. I'm gonna
Straight
jump
up.
up on out of here.
All right, all right. You made a good point, though. It is delineation. It is.
That I'm just saying what Trump is doing right now. And he has and the whole MAGA party. This is what they're doing. But you already know what it is. I'll be back on later on. I'm gonna jump on out of here. Come back on up. You already know what it is, Matt. You already know. Peace.